Welcome to Plan with Planets, the podcast where astrology meets aligned action. I'm Tiffany, your guide to using the wisdom of the stars to create a business and life that feels effortless, intuitive, and deeply aligned. If you're tired of forcing strategies that don't work for you and want to start working with your energy instead of against it, you're in the right place. Each week, we dive into cosmic timing, business strategy, energy alignment, and the practical ways you can use astrology to flow with success without burnout. Expect deep insights, transformative conversations, and a whole new way of planning your success that actually feels aligned and good. Are you ready to unlock the power of the cosmos in your everyday life? Well, let's get started. Welcome back to Plan with Planets. I'm Tiffany, your guide to understanding how astrology weaves into your daily life, business, and energy. So today, I want to talk about those days where you just feel off. Nothing is clicking, you're extremely tired and unmotivated, and I want to share with you that it's simply your energy shifting, responding to cosmic rhythms that you may not even realize are at play. Today, I want to dive into why your energy may feel out of sync and how you can use astrology to find your natural flow again. So whether you're on your way out the door or getting ready to get some work done, grab some tea, get a little cozy, and let's get into it. I'm sure you've asked yourself numerous times, why do I feel off today? Well, you know that feeling when you're just pushing and pushing, but nothing is flowing? Or maybe you're exhausted, even though you should have energy. And, 12 cups of coffee later, let's be real, you may be out of sync with your personal rhythms. We all have personal cosmic cycles that impact our energy that we may not even know about because it's not taught in everyday life. So some things that might be triggering this, the moon, planetary transits, and retrogrades all play a role in how we feel and show up. If you're trying to launch something during a challenging transit or forcing productivity when your energy is at a natural low, you're going to feel resistant. Think of it like the seasons. Some days are for planting, others harvesting, and some are just for that plant to keep on growing. So let's break this down. The moon is in charge of your emotions. The moon shifts signs every 2 to 3 days, meaning our emotional landscape is constantly evolving. So when we learn to shift our actions in relation to where the moon is, it helps us create more of an ebb and flow rather than a constant hustle or a constant stagnation, aka burnout. So, example, water moons bring deep feelings. Air moons make us think, and fire moons push action, and then earth moons ground us. So, if you're feeling off, check where the moon is. It may be influencing your emotional state more than you realize. Other things that happen frequently that we're unaware of are retrogrades. Retrogrades slow us down for a reason. If Mercury is in retrograde, communication may feel unclear because, Mercury always gets the bad rap when it goes retrograde. But what retrogrades are asking you to do are review that area of life, depending on where it's in your natal chart and transit chart. It's asking you to review things. That's why if you're doing a launch during a retrograde and your tech breaks or your slides don't work or somebody's just not getting what you're putting down, it's because you need to review that, or that person needs to review things, or they need a little more explanation. So it's asking you to slow down and look over everything you have put together. It's not a great time for putting out new stuff. If Mars is in retrograde, which we've been going through recently, it should be going direct by next week, I believe. But your motivation is going to be at a low. You're going to be reviewing your action, reviewing your energy. So take this time to naturally slow down, look inward, learn what you've been doing, and let go of what isn't working. So instead of fighting it, use this time for reflection, refinement, and resetting. It's like a giant cosmic pause button. So lean into it. Trust me, it took me a long time to give into that because I've always been taught that if you're not working, you're not getting anything done. If you're not getting anything done, you're not making money. And if you're not making money, what are you doing with your life? That is the natural rhythm of life. But I'm here to tell you that there is a better way to do it. So let's keep going. Your natal chart holds the key to your energy because it isn't like everyone else's. Some people thrive in structure, others need flexibility. Your chart specifically is going to show you your natural ebb and flow. And if you have a lot of fire energy, and when I say that, what I mean is, do you have a lot of placements in fire signs? So like Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. When you have a lot of placements, that gives you that fire energy. So you may work best in bursts of energy, like periods of it. And if you have a lot of earth, you need a routine. And I can speak to this very deeply because I am probably about 90% earth. I have a lot of Virgo, a lot of Capricorn, and routines are my best friend. My mom used to joke with me that if I could schedule when I had to use the restroom, I would do it, which isn't far from the truth. But anyways, knowing this helps you work with yourself and not against yourself. So sometimes like when you buy this system from somebody and they're like, oh, I made all this money or I did all this stuff with this system. And for some reason you do all the things that they say and it's still not working for you. It's not in sync with you. So stop pushing against yourself by trying to do what others are doing all the time. I hope that makes sense. So another vital thing to remember is do not ignore the rest cycles. Nature works in cycles. I know it's winter where I am, and nature is quiet. It's very doom and gloomy looking. It's very tired looking because it takes a rest cycle. That's what winter is. So you can do this too. And I'm not saying that you have to full stop do everything that you're doing, but learn to use the moon cycles. Like the new moon is going to be for setting your intentions, aka planting a seed like you would in nature. The full moon is for your reflection. The waning moon is for rest. So when you're always in go mode, burnout's just inevitable. But if you start to learn how to honor your downtime, you're going to have so much more power during your active times. Trust me, I've learned this by experience. It's not an easy lesson to learn. So, how do we realign with astrology? First things first is track your energy patterns. Pay attention to how you feel throughout the month. Journal about it, talk about it, meditate about it. However you get your feelings out, go ahead and take that route. And look at the transits that are happening in the sky at that time. If you notice your energy dips during a certain phase every month, a lot of times women can look to their menstrual cycles because we actually naturally align our menstrual cycles with, it's similar to the lunation cycle. But when you feel those dips in energy, they're usually going to happen around the same time every month. Plan for it. Give yourself grace instead of forcing productivity. Allow yourself to go do something for yourself. Go get a mani-pedi. Do something, or if you are kind of low on funds, just read a book. Spend time with yourself. Do things that light you up. Align your work and your life with the cosmic flow. I always recommend starting with the moon phases because it's one of the easiest things to start working with. Now, I know that we are taught to use the calendar that January 1st through January 31st is 1 month. Well, I'm going to go against the grain here and tell you that it's not always the case, because our ancestors worked off of the lunation calendar, which is the first of the month is the new moon, where we are going to set intentions. The waxing moon, short to follow, is to build the momentum. The full moon is to evaluate that progress, and the waning moon is to rest and refine. And release with the balsamic moon, release all the crap you don't need anymore. Setting important launches, creative work, or deep rest around planetary shifts is vital to learning how to work with yourself instead of against yourself, okay? Next is going to be embracing the retrograde instead of resisting it. So Mercury retrograde, yeah. We all know that time of year, 3 times a year. This is a time to review again and reflect. Do not force new projects. Side note, if you have Mercury retrograde in your natal chart, it is actually a really good time for you, but that's for another day. Mars retrograde, again, a great time to refine how you take action instead of burning yourself out, trying to push your boulder up the hill. So learn when the retrogrades are going to be happening, which the bigger planets are in retrograde, obviously longer, but Mercury and Mars, they're pretty short-lived. Mars is about 2 months, I think. It's about 2 or 3 months. It's a little longer, but Mercury RX is a couple weeks, and we can all take a couple weeks to review and reflect, can't we? And so, again, your chart is your blueprint. So let's just say you have a Capricorn midheaven. This is going to thrive with structured planning, while as a Pisces midheaven needs fluidity. So stop trying to fit into somebody else's system. Find what actually works for you and do it. Listen to your body, because if you're feeling exhausted, ask yourself, is the universe telling me to slow down? If you're fired up, you could ask yourself, is this the right time to take action based on the stars? Astrology isn't about rules. It's about awareness and learning how to work with the energy instead of pushing against the energy is a game changer for your life and business. And speaking from experience, I have 2 young kids. I have a husband that travels for work. I have a homestead, which is currently 2 cows, a bunch of chickens, pigs, turkeys, all the things. And at one point, I burnt myself out too much, where I just wanted to sell off all my animals, crawl into a ball, and not do anything ever. And I made myself physically sick because I wasn't honoring my own energy. I have been up and down with my personal health for almost 2.5 years now. And when I finally started working with my energy instead of pushing against it, game changer. Now, keep in mind, I've been working with astrology for several years, but when I finally took medical astrology and realized what I need to do in order to honor my body's daily rhythms, in addition to the external forces, I can't even tell you, after that, it was the first day I wanted to put pants on in about a month. So it's a game changer when you learn to work with yourself instead of pushing against yourself. So your energy is always shifting. Don't fight it. Lean into it. Work with it. The more you align with your personal cycle, the easier that your life, business, and your creative flow is going to be. If you would like more personalized energy alignment sessions, please feel free to book a celestial success session or an alignment session with me, and let's get your cycles mapped out for you. And if you feel aligned Follow me on Instagram or join my free Facebook group, and I can't wait to connect with you in the next episode. And that's a wrap on this episode of Plan with Planets. I hope you're feeling inspired, aligned, and ready to take action in sync with the stars. If you've loved today's insights, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with a fellow cosmic creator. If you want to go deeper, join me over on Instagram at Tiffany_Silvestri or my website, tiffanysilvestri.com, where we continue the conversation and explore even more ways to align your business and life with astrology. Until next time, trust your energy, trust your timing, and keep flowing with the planets. See you in the next episode.